Hi, you all love animals, don't you? Now just imagine that you're walking on the road right now and eating a packet of biscuits, and suddenly you see a dog walking next to you wagging his tail. Now would you give this dog a biscuit? Surely most of you would say yes. Now second scenario, imagine you're walking on the same road right now, but you see that the dog is now sleeping in a corner. And suddenly you see someone take a stick and hit that dog. Now if you saw this happening in front of your eyes, would you consider that to be animal abuse? I'm sure most of you would definitely say yes. Now third scenario, imagine you're walking on the same road again, but this time instead of a dog, you see a goat sleeping there. And you see the same person take the same stick and hit the goat. Now, if you saw that as well happening in front of your eyes, would you consider that too to be animal abuse? Some would say yes, some would say no. But just hear out this last scenario. Now imagine that person takes this goat to a room, not in front of your eyes, but behind your back, where that goat is killed, cut up into small pieces and added to rice and masala, put on a plate and given to you. Now, when you take this plate in your hands, would you say, oh my god, animal abuse, or would you say, oh my god, biryani? Now, from this scenario, you have learned a new word without even realizing it, and that word is called speciesism. Speciesism can be defined as a form of hatred that is taught to young human children at a very young age, be it by their parents, teachers, religion, culture, and the very society that they live in. Speciesism teaches us that we humans are for some reason superior to animals, and therefore we have the right to enslave, torture, and kill any animals as we see fit without penalty. Now I want you guys to observe this picture carefully. Look at it. You see a girl in the middle where she's petting a dog on the right and she is killing a pig on the left. I want you guys to now observe these two animals carefully, the dog and the pig. Don't they both have eyes to see, ears to hear, a nose to smell, a mind to think, a heart to beat, and blood to bleed? When you think about it, aren't these two animals equal? Well, if they are equal, then why do we not treat them equally in our society? Now, I'm sure you all would have heard of words like racism, sexism, and casteism. What does racism mean? Racism means to look at someone who has a different skin color or different appearance than you and discriminate against them. What does sexism mean? It means just because someone is not a man and a woman, you tend to discriminate them and not give them equal rights in society. Now, sadly, in our own country, India, just a few hundred years ago, racism, casteism, sexism, and all forms of discriminations used to exist. Now, just imagine that you went back 200 years ago into a racist, sexist, misogynistic society, and you see that your parents behave in a racist way, and that everyone around you, including your teachers and your neighbors, your family and friends, and everyone practices untouchability, and the government too deems it to be legal and ethical. If you were born and raised in such a society, what would your mindset be like? You too would think that it is okay and normal to be racist and discriminatory against other people just because everyone does it. Similarly, just a few hundred years ago in our own country, we had a practice called sati. What does sati mean? It means that when a woman becomes a widow and her husband passes away, that it is all right and okay to cremate her and burn her alive along with her deceased husband. This kind of atrocity went on for hundreds of years and stopped only after activists like Raja Ram Mohan Rai went and stood up against it. Now I want you to think, why did these atrocities and discriminations happen for so many hundreds of years? It was because everyone had the perception that if everyone in society does something, it must be okay. I want to make it clear so you can understand that just because everyone does something does not make the action ethical, and just because the government deems something legal does not make the action morally right to do. The good news now is we today live in a society where a majority of these discriminations have been abolished to a great extent. However, there is still one major form of discrimination going on even till today. I mean, just think about it. In what kind of society were you raised in? What did your parents teach you when you were a kid? You were born and raised in a speciesistic society because your parents taught you, be nice to the cat, be loving to the dog, but cows, chickens, pigs, fish, goats, duck, and sheep, kill them, enslave them, torture them. God put them here for us to use. When you actually think about it rationally, the exact same excuses that we gave hundreds of years ago to discriminate against women and other people are the exact same excuses that we give today in the 21st century to discriminate and harm animals. Now, allow me to introduce you to a new word, and that word is called vegan. A vegan is a person who does not consume any form of meat from any land or marine animal. Vegans also do not consume any milk or milk products, eggs or honey. A vegan also does not wear any leather, wool, silk, fur or any animal skin at all. So basically what vegans try to do is, in their life, they live without intentionally harming or exploiting any animal, and in this video I'm going to explain to you why. Now, I'm sure many of you may feel uncomfortable when we compare human and animal violence, and people even get upset and angry when I tell them that they have been conditioned and brainwashed to kill and harm animals. Yes, I repeat myself, conditioned and brainwashed. If you don't believe me, I'll make you understand a simple example. Just imagine that I am throwing a party right now. There's a buffet behind me and I'm giving you a plate and telling you, go put on your favorite food and eat it. And you go and try every food, but there's one particular dish, when you try it, you're like, oh my God, this tastes so good. So you come running to me, Arvind, please tell me how you made this dish. Like, what is the secret recipe here? And I tell you, okay, the secret recipe is I've used freshly made dog meat and I've marinated it for 1 hour in donkey milk. Now, the moment you hear the words dog meat and donkey milk, the very food that you were enjoying up until then, that you would be relishing, all of a sudden seems disgusting and revolting to you. You would say to me, dog meat, but wait, that's a dead dog, and donkey milk? Arvind, are you crazy? Are you a baby donkey? Why on earth would you be consuming donkey milk? But suppose I told you that it is chicken marinated for 1 hour in curd, what would be your reaction? You would devour it and relish it immediately. Now tell me, if this is not brainwashing, then what is it? You have been taught at a very young age to view some animals as friends and some as food, even though, as you saw in the beginning, all animals are exactly the same. Now, no matter how much ever I speak about this, it is impossible for me to make you understand the true suffering and plight of these animals, which is why I'm going to show you today a 5-minute video. Now, you will find the link to this video called Why Vegan in the description, and it's a 5-minute long video, and I request everyone to please watch it. So in case when you're watching the video, if you feel you don't like it, you are free to close your eyes. However, I do want to make one small statement. If what you see in that video is not good enough for your eyes, then ask yourself, why is it good enough for your stomach? And with that, kindly watch the video and come back to this one. I first want to thank everybody for watching that video, or at least for trying to watch that video. I understand that video is not easy to watch. It hurts. It's very painful for us when we watch that video. But just think, if it hurts us so much to watch just 5 minutes of animals being tortured and killed on a small screen, then just imagine the amount of pain and suffering those animals would have felt when they actually had to go through it. Now, I want everyone to do me a favor. Please just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and imagine what I'm about to tell you. Imagine the day that you were born, someone else plans the day of your execution. The day that you were born, someone takes you from your mother and puts you in a cage, and then they give you food and water just to make you fat. And then they cram more people like you into that cage and throw all of you on a lorry like you are just objects. And that lorry is headed straight to a slaughterhouse where you will be hung upside down by your legs, fully conscious. So someone can take a knife, slice your throat, drain your blood, peel your skin, pull your guts out and chop you to 1,000 pieces so someone else can cook you, eat you and wear your skin. Now just think for a second, if you were in that situation, if you were in the animal's position, how would you feel? Shall I tell you how you'd feel? If you were in the animal's position, you would be hoping and praying that someone like me would be standing up for you, would be willing to do anything I can in my life to protect you. In fact, if you were in the animal's position, you would want the whole world to go vegan like that. So how come if the animals being killed in that video were dogs and cats, everybody would be angry and outraged? But instead they're cows, chickens, pigs, fish, goats and sheep, and all of a sudden everybody wants to tell me that it's okay. So think about it. What is the problem here? Is the slaughterhouse the problem, or is the problem just who's getting killed in the slaughterhouse? Because it is a house of slaughter. Why does it even exist? Now, I would like to speak about 2 things we saw today in that video. And first, I want to start off with the egg industry, because if you saw in the beginning, people are throwing chicks here and there. You might be wondering what's going on, why it's happening. Well, you see in an egg industry, when an egg hatches, there's a 50% chance for it to be a male and 50% chance for it to be a female. Females grow to be hens and hens lay eggs. males grow to be roosters and roosters do not lay eggs. So what is the benefit of having a male chick in the egg industry? It's going to grow up, eat more food than the females and not even produce eggs. Therefore, these chicks are segregated into male and female. And because these male chicks cannot lay eggs, the day that they are born, they are thrown into a grinder alive and ground up alive, or they are suffocated inside huge plastic bags, or they have water poured on them and they drown to death. And all of this is done because the egg industry labels them as useless and non-productive. Now, just to prove how hypocritical this is, imagine this. Imagine if I kept a huge grinder in front of you right now and I put a few chicks inside and closed it, and I told you, hey, whoever is willing to come forward here right now, put the switch on and grind these babies to death, please come and do so. I will give you 10,000 rupees if you do so. How many of you would have the heart to take that money and, in spite of the cries and pleas of those young babies, put the switch on and grind them to death? I'm sure most of you wouldn't even be able to imagine yourself doing that. Now imagine if someone did say, yes, I will take that money, and they came forward to put that switch and kill those babies. What would you do at that moment? I'm pretty sure most of you would step up and stop that person. Now here is where you have to seriously think. We all have a beautiful brain, we just forget to use it. You are not able to watch a small video of animals being tortured and killed. Even if I bribed you with money, you would not come forward and kill these animals. And even if someone did take that money and they tried doing it in your place, you would actually get up and stop them. And you know why? That's because by heart, you're actually good, kind, compassionate people. You understand that it is wrong and unethical to hurt another creature that's physically weaker than you for senseless reasons. Therefore, my only question to you is, why are you not a vegan? And please do understand, veganism is not the same as vegetarianism. There's a big difference between vegans and vegetarians. Vegans do not consume any dairy products at all. Now, you might be wondering why. For milk production, no one's killing a cow, so what could be wrong with consuming milk? Well, you must understand that a cow, like any other mammal, produces milk. She lactates only when she is pregnant. So the question is, how does a cow get pregnant in an Indian dairy farm? And if you watched that video, you would have seen the answer. A cow is tied up against her will. A man inserts his fist into the cow's anus and then into the steel rod that contains bull semen into the cow's vagina and shoots her with bull semen. This is how every cow is made pregnant. Now just think about it. Tying someone up, sticking steel objects into someone else's privates, forcibly making them pregnant against their will. If this action was done to a woman in our country, what would we call it? Rape? A violation? But do you know what it's called if it's done to a cow or a buffalo? It's called milk, ghee, curd, cheese, butter, lassi, chaas, paneer, kulfi, ice cream, chocolates and double cheese pizza with stuffed crust. That's what it's called. And please understand, a cow produces milk only for her baby and her baby alone and not for anybody else. And so you see, once the baby is born, the baby is immediately separated from the mother, because if it was still kept there, it will start drinking all of its milk. Therefore, you would not be able to enjoy your morning chai or your evening coffee. So, this baby, in case it's a female, will be kept separate from its mother and given a special liquid formula. And once she is of age, she too will undergo the same fate as her mother. If in case the child born is a male, like the egg industry, a male calf or a bull cannot produce milk. And after just a few days or a few weeks, that calf will be sent to the slaughterhouse where he will be killed and turned into magnificent leather shoes, belts, jackets and purses. So please understand that the next time that you want to purchase or you wear leather, you are wearing the skin of someone else's child. And about that cow, a cow in the wild can naturally live up to 20 or 25 years. However, in the dairy industry, it is surprising if a cow can live beyond 5 or even 8 years. This is because these cows are impregnated year after year, have their children stolen from them year after year. They undergo so much mental and physical stress. They are injected with an injection called oxytocin, which converts blood into milk. And after being abused and used for so many years on a dairy farm, these cows one day eventually collapse from exhaustion. And that time, in order to make one last profit from her body, these cows are sent to the slaughterhouse to be killed. After watching that video and hearing all of this, if you still want to consume dairy, here is my request to you. Please eat beef. Because whether you consume dairy or you wear leather or you eat beef, it makes absolutely zero difference for the cow. Because leather is beef, is milk. They're all the same. And this is the reason why I will never be a vegetarian and I will forever be a vegan. If you are interested and curious to learn more about veganism, please do check out the other videos on my channel. Thank you.